Welcome back to the Chrysalis Key Read-a-long. In the 7th episode, we're talking about chapters 33 through to 37. We begin with chapter 33, where Hugh gets a big adventure. He discovers the truth about himself and that he and Amos are travelers and they can travel between worlds. So this is a huge revelation, and we also find that the Red General has stolen a bunch of kids and he's not looking too well. Then we travel to the village of Nimue, where Amos and Hugh help out with the burning town. Hugh has his own mind about how he wants to do things, and he is 18. So he's not about to listen to someone telling him what to do, even if it is Amos. Hugh's scene with the people of Nimue was a really early scene. I think I wrote it quite a few years ago, just after I wrote Melanie's first White Lady scene. And Hugh seeing those little kids with the Red General really affected him. So we'll see what he gets up to next with that. Then we have a group recon, and we see that Seren is also unwell and that she has full memory of the events of the school while no one else seems to, and the group makes some plans. Henry goes to visit Geoffrey Beaufort, and we discover the real reason why he's lost his mind. Now, Henry and Seren and the others live quite close to one another. They all live quite close. I do have a map that I've made early on in the drafts, but I didn't put the town map in the book. I can probably put it on my website if anyone wants to see it, but I did make it myself. I placed everyone in certain locations. Obviously, where they all live is really important since they're all running around the town now in part 2. And funny story about Nan's scones. I worked in a bakery for 5 years while I was in school in uni, and I was like to my mum, why are all the date scones at the shop the most popular? Like, we would basically sell out of them every day compared to the other flavors, and it was only elderly people that bought them. So my mum was like, oh, I know why. It's because their doctors tell them to eat dates for their bowels because it helps with constipation, and for elderly people that's an issue. So that conversation stayed in my mind, and of course it came up here because there are so many older people in this story. So then we move on and we see Deegan, and there's a big confrontation between him and the kids and the teenagers. And we see what that black box from chapter 1 really was. The box is opened and both he and Clementine are out of action. And Aiden also gets his hands on a whole heap of Deegan's books. And I do love the interaction we have there between Clementine and Sangria. Clementine is she's someone that I want to share with you more. Her backstory is super interesting because she comes from dark nobility and is basically a turncoat. So she was raised in a dark family, and you will get to see her in the prelude to The Travelers, which I'll give you guys the link for if you don't already have it at the end of these episodes. But I would love to write more of Clementine. She's so awesome. And with chapter 37, we get to see an extension of the prologue from right at the beginning of the novel. So what Deegan did after leaving Mara Avenue that fateful night. It is a short scene, but it is weighty. And with that, we come to the end of this episode, and I will see you very soon in episode 8. Happy reading!